Outlaw, a KXAN investigative project. Our team is looking at the connection between a 50-year-old state law banning homosexual conduct and the record number of legislative proposals introduced in 2023 impacting LGBTQ+ Texans. The debate surrounding many of those bills focused on children and families. Some passed into law, some are challenged in court, and others are bound to resurface in future sessions. This year, state lawmakers considered a bill restricting the ability for transgender minors to change their birth certificate. Birth certificates can play a vital role in our everyday lives. Without one, you can't get a driver's license, passport, or maybe even a job. As KXAN's Eric Henriksen learned, some advocates worry new restrictions could make life more dangerous for trans Texans.
Trans people are a vibrant, powerful part of our human experience. We've been here for a really long time.
A musician, activist, and social media influencer, Texan Rocky Lane transitioned in the public eye.
Starting to see little chin hairs pop up and a slightly deeper voice. And I was like, by the time I have a full beard, I'm probably gonna need a driver's license that says M on it.
The requirements for amending identity documents in the last 10 years or so have really improved.
Sasha Bookert is a senior attorney with civil rights nonprofit Lambda Legal.
It is a little bit of a patchwork, among the states about what kind of requirements are in place.
In some states, like California and Florida, changing your gender may require a document like a passport as proof of a gender change. Others, like Arkansas and Kentucky, require proof of reassignment surgery. While in Texas, documents can be changed after a judge issues a court order.
So it was a gay lawyer, which is always great. He wrote the documents out for me. I had to sign a few things, notarize them. He went to court for me. Within the same day, got a driver's license that said temporary, my first male document. The document is like, I feel like a stamp of approval.
For some, this process is now under scrutiny.
Members, we have one more bill on the agenda for the evening. The chair lays out Senate Bill 162.
In March, the Texas Committee on State Affairs heard testimony on SB 162.
If we were able to allow people to change their sex on their birth certificate, then it could undermine the law we passed in last session protecting K-12 sports, which requires UIL to reference the sex on a birth certificate.
The bill aimed to prevent state registrars and courts from making changes to the sex listed on a minor's birth certificate.
We need a penalty for fraud, especially when something like this is done. This is our kids we're talking about.
This is an attempt by lawmakers and other folks to tell youth who they can and cannot be.
Ash Hall with ACLU of Texas testified against the bill.
These talking points that they've come up with that make trans people or the adults who care for them sound very scary, like there's a real crisis on our hands and that their children are at risk.
A court order was written for my husband for his documents to be changed to reflect that he was a woman. I married a man and I was forced to divorce a fake woman.
Lane says without proper identification, he and other trans people are at risk.
If I'm pulling out a document that says something other than M, that is a dangerous situation for me. It's an outing situation for me. I have to have a lot of discussion with people in public if they see something other than an M.
Bookert, who also testified against SB 162, says the bill has several flaws.
You're forcing someone to carry around a document that doesn't match who they are, so it's compelled speech. It violates the First Amendment.
Hall says several states have attempted to pass something similar targeted at minors, but haven't succeeded. The bill in Texas passed the Senate but didn't get a House committee hearing, so it didn't become a law. We reached out to Senator Charles Perry, author of the bill, to learn more about its future next session. His office declined our interview request. This recent unease in the state has impacted Lane.
I'm leaving Texas, yes. It's bittersweet because my community is stronger than it was when I started, but I think it is time to move on.
Eric, some lawmakers cited another bill, HB 25, as the impetus behind SB 162, right?
Yes, that bill required K-12 student athletes play on sports teams that correspond with the sex listed on their birth certificate. HB 25 went into effect last year. Supporters of SB 162 said that trans minors changing their birth certificates could undermine the current law.